you decide to become the best version of yourself, you can no longer continue to self-sabotage yourself and the people and the places and the things that are genuinely meant to be a part of your life and have access to you. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, High Guidance, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. Now, of course, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates, leave the rest, as well as grabbing a pen, a paper, and be prepared to take notes. When it comes to self-sabotage, all you can do right now in this moment is be accountable for yourself. And I'm going to explain why. This doesn't mean in your past that what you felt wasn't real. It's not to invalidate your experiences, but 100% of the time, the people and the places and things who went out their way to sabotage you, to hurt you, whether it was intentionally or not, are going to continue to live their life. And if they don't come back around and apologize, they did what they did. And the reason why it's so important for you to be accountable for yourself is because they're going to move on. But a lot of times when we don't let go of our past, when we do not forgive ourselves, when we do not take the time to heal ourselves, when we don't take the time to realize that we experience sabotage, we end up limiting ourselves, which means we limit and block any potential of opportunity, people, place, or thing who is actually meant to be a part of our lives to have access to us and for you to live your best life. You will not be able to get 1 million followers. You will not be able to get $1 million. You will not be able to have open doors and new opportunities and the connections and the resources that you want if you are holding on to who you used to be and how you used to be. So in order for you to stop self-sabotaging yourself, the first thing you have to realize is that you were betrayed. The first thing you have to realize is that you were sabotaged. Rather you sabotage yourself or that was something that was exposed to you. Now, because we don't get to pick our mom and dad and how we're raised, a lot of times when we're young and in our early teenage years and even as an adult, we are programmed information. We are taught and shown certain things, rather it's negative and positive. So if we have a certain background where we come from poverty, we come from dysfunction, we come from toxic family members, toxic friends, we're being bullied, we don't have certain resources, we don't have certain opportunities, we don't have certain educations, we automatically have lack. You have to realize that just because you grew up a certain type of way doesn't mean that you have to continue to resonate with that. But in order for you to acknowledge that you don't want to resonate with something, you have to realize you did grow up in poverty. You did grow up with toxic family members and friends. You were betrayed and sabotaged from people that you know. You were betrayed and people tried to sabotage you at school and at work and your partners. You have to realize that in order for you to stop self-sabotaging yourself, you guys, that's a tongue twister, that you didn't know what you know now. If you are in relationships, let's just say they were abusive, in order for you to be in a healthy relationship, you have to realize that you didn't know certain things about relationships. You weren't taught certain things about relationships. And I'm going to tell you guys, if you did know certain things and you still decided to go against the grain, let it be a lesson learned. A hard head makes a soft behind. But I'm pretty sure 99% of the people that are watching this, including you, we don't just intentionally want to make bad choices in life. And even when you make a bad choice or a bad decision that you're not proud of, it doesn't mean that you have to stay there. To sit there and allow, like I said, the people and the places and things who hurt you to live rent-free in your mind is not going to help you. What happens is these people, I'm telling you from experience, they're going to pass away, they're going to live life, they're going to have families, and you're the only person who's going to be stuck in your past mentally, but be in your present and feel depressed and have PTSD and OCD. And I know because I'm your favorite mental health specialist who's a naturopathic physician. And all shade, all tea, in order for you to actually heal yourself, you have to realize that that past version of you, it was valid, but you don't have to continue to beat yourself up when you were taught certain things. So if you didn't have the finances, if you didn't have the resources, if you weren't taught and shown things at home and at school and at work, you limiting the way you look at life is only going to continue to have you be paranoid. That's why a lot of people have schizophrenic and are schizophrenic. That's the reason why a lot of people have PTSD. We all go through traumatic situations. A lot of us suffer more than others, but speaking from experience as somebody who's gone through a significant amount of trauma, I refuse to allow my past, regardless of what I was taught and shown, affect my current reality, because I know I don't want to be miserable. Just because you grew up in a household and you were raised a certain type of way, Once you get to that level of consciousness, once you get to that level of awareness, you are allowed to make choices for yourself. We don't have to sit here and beat ourselves up. So, for example, there were some relationships that I had with men, because I'm a straight woman, that were good. And then some of them I was just like, So instead of me generalizing and label all men to be cheaters and bad, just realize, you know what? The ones that were good, I was able to learn from. Let me take what resonates, leave the rest. And the ones that were bad, let me leave them there, but take what I needed to and know moving forward what I want in a spouse, what I want in a partner, what I want in a husband, what I want with a man. Same thing when it comes to relationships with women. I'm not going to say all women are catty. This doesn't mean that there aren't catty women in the world, but it's just like, we can't always blame everything and everybody. Eventually, you have to realize that, you know what, I wasn't, able to experience certain things as a child or as a teenager and even as an adult. But when I watch these videos, when I see Ty Guidance speak, moving forward, realizing she's coming to my life for a reason, I'm going to start holding myself accountable and start picking up the pieces. Is it fair? No, but that's life. I didn't make the rules. I'm just here living it just like everybody else. Yes, we all have the same 24 hours in a day. No, everyone does not look at life the same way. And that's why, as somebody who is very stable emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, consciously, subconsciously, okay, I inform and I educate and I give these videos for you guys for free. It's not fair to block and limit yourself from people, places, and things who want to treat you well. And the reason why I was saying with the relationships with women, because I got sidetracked a little bit, all women are not catty. I've been around some immature little girls, and then I've been around grown women. You have to realize that there are grown women, there are grown men. You have little girls and you have little boys, and grown men, grown women, not a specific age. It's not a specific race. It's how you carry yourself. I didn't have all encounters with bad men and bad women. And even if you did experience a certain level of bad men and bad women, you have to hold yourself accountable. And that's the second thing. If everybody is so bad, because I don't like that, you guys. I don't do the enabling. I do not do the enabling. And I don't do the entitlement. Okay? If everyone's so bad, why are you still there? Now, when you weren't taught how to communicate, when you weren't taught how to express yourself, when you weren't taught love and affection, if you didn't grow up with certain resources, okay, that's cool. But you realize how that's made you feel over time. See, that's what a lot of people don't want to talk about. Everybody loves to point the finger, but it's just like your finger is connected to your hand. And over here, because I'm really your favorite ritual team before I'm your favorite mental health specialist, we hold you to a certain standard. I hold myself to a certain standard. That's why I created these videos. And if you're OG, this is my second YouTube account for mental health. If you're OG, if you're new here, you watch these videos with intention. You do take the notes. You do take what resonates and you leave the rest. If not, you're going to live your best life. I'm going to live my best life. And I'm telling you from experience, in order for you to live your best life, you can't hold on to how you used to think. So the first thing we have to realize is that, you know what? We experience some type of trauma. We experience some type of betrayal, and it is what it is. Because it is. As much as you want to be angry, as much as you want to be frustrated, that is one of the most, what am I trying to say? That is one of the most, I can't think of the word, but when it comes to advice, that is one of like the best advice anybody could tell you. You have to learn how to let things go. You have to let go of the attachment issues. Like I said, a lot of times people don't realize they have attachment issues because, yes, a lot of us come from dysfunctional, toxic families. A lot of us come from a certain type of way of living. Instead of blaming our parents and our caregivers, and if they didn't know no better, how could they help you? And at the end of the day, they have trauma and dealings that they have to deal with. That's why it's so important to not even be attached to them. Once you realize everybody on this earth has their own life and their own destination and their own path, you're not going to internalize what people do, especially once you realize that maybe, you know what, I don't want to deal with them. You don't have to. It doesn't make you a bad person. But it's like, until you realize that you experienced a significant amount of trauma from certain people, places, and things, and that you didn't know certain things, and until you realize that, you know what, I don't want to continue to have this mindset or these morals or these beliefs, or I'm sick of it, that's what you're going to do. You're going to have PTSD. You're going to be stuck in the past. Like, no shade when it comes to labels and attachments. A lot of times doctors, Western societies, they prescribe information, they label you, they say that you're this, you're this and that. You don't have to stay like that forever. Unless it's physical, that's when it's really health related, but you guys are not ready to have that conversation. Unless it's physical, it could be fixed. We were taught certain things. We were shown certain things, whether they were negative and positive. So just because, for example, you come from poverty or you're not taught about financial literacy, just because you grew up poor, just because you grew up in poverty, doesn't mean that you have to be like that your entire life. The question you need to start asking yourself is, once you realize how broke and how poor you are, is if you want to continue to be like that. And as somebody who has experienced having millions of trillions of dollars and having $1.75 in her bank account, I had to make a decision, because that's what life is about. In this work, and this is why, as your favorite mental health specialist who's a naturopathic physician, I'm not here to treat anything. We're here to cure people. In order to cure people, you have to go to the root. It's a lot of work that comes into it. People just think healing is just all love and light. That's the end goal if you're not already that. So if you're coming from negativity and we have to transmute it to positivity, it's a lot of work. It's not a coincidence that you're watching this video right now. So it's like, moving forward, in order for you, like I said, to have these opportunities, we have to do a lot of self-reflecting. That's what I'm here to do, is make you self-reflect. That's why I'm in your life right now. I'm in your life to hold you accountable, because you've been crying, you've been whining. God, ancestors, universe, whatever you said that you believe in, this is your sign. Now, if you're not open to receive it, that's on you. I'm still going to post these videos, because I have people and places and things to meet. And so do you. It's about to be the summertime. With that being said, as we reach our goal to 500 subscribers, I am going to switch things up for you guys. If you're new here, I created a 30-day consistency challenge that was specifically asked and requested by Janae, one of my genuine supporters. I'm not going to call you guys followers, because you guys are people, okay? But one of our genuine supporters, she had an idea, she had questions, you guys engaged. We did that specifically for her and everybody else who watched. That's what we're going to do. Once we get to 500, we're switching things up. So I have a website, I have services, we're switching things up. Once we get to 500 followers, all the stuff that I have on my website, I will start posting on YouTube for free. So all I ask, that you guys are getting your pen and your paper, you're taking the information and you're applying it. And of course, you like it, you share, and you engage. And you let me know what questions that you guys have. But that's what I will do. For 500 followers, if you guys are serious, if you can't afford a therapist, if you can't afford a mental health specialist, if you can't afford a naturopathic physician, if you don't have health insurance, what I usually do for my supporters and clients, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with you. That's just a professional word for it. I will give all the information for free. So once we reach 500 followers, be prepared for that. And if you guys want to start working on that, start working on that now, let me know. But it's just like, we have to stop self-sabotaging. And I'm speaking from experience. Like I said, I've dated men. I cannot judge all men, because if I were to sit here and allow the boys, like I said, I'm gonna keep it cute. If I allowed the little boys in my life who I wasn't meant to marry or meant to be around cloud my judgment for the rest of my life, I'd probably be bitter. I'd probably be one of those type of people like, oh, all men. No, they don't. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You guys don't want me to talk about relationships and other things because, okay, I'm not sugarcoating nothing. It starts with you, ladies. People can't do certain things to you if you don't allow it. Same thing with men. All women are older. It starts with you. Same thing when it comes to our family members and our friends. People can't continue to take advantage of you and talk badly about you if you're around them. Now, of course, for someone to be in my comments be like, well, what if people da-da-da, and people going out their way to spread lies and rumors and gossip about you is one-sided. And I'm telling you guys from experience, because I've had a lot of immature people in my life who are like that. And because I realized that they were immature, I wasn't, one, going to react or respond. Two, I didn't feel like they were worthy or valuable to even engage with. And three, once I peeped the scenery, once I scoped the scenery and realized that they have insecurities, I just let them talk. As long as people are not physically trying to hurt and harm you, like I said, then that's a different topic for a different video. But it's just like, if people are talking about you and people don't like you, they don't have to. They don't have to. But you see, until you learn how to be confident, until you realize that, you know what, just because I was experiencing certain things and you know, I felt some type of way doesn't mean I have to be like that for the rest of my life. Even when I was broke. I personally don't like to be broke. I don't think anybody wants to be broke. I've never met a homeless person say when they were young, oh, when I grow up, I want to be broke. I've never met a child that says, you know, when I grow up, I want to go to jail, or I want to go to prison, or I want to be SA'd. Nobody wants that. Nobody. And if you do, I've never met you and I don't want to have any type of encounters with you. But a lot of times, certain things happen to us as children and preteens. And I'm telling you guys from experience, if you don't check it now, you're going to grow up to be like the people you said that you didn't want to be like. And I'm telling you, a lot of times, especially when people get older and they want to hurt and harm you, I'm telling you, so many people will try to sabotage you and do certain things. I'm not saying that's not true. I'm not saying that people are not, like I said, going to gossip and spread rumors and make you, but it's just like you have to hold yourself accountable. Same thing, like I said, when it comes to relationships with people. Now, do I just recommend that you tell all your business and that you just get to know people immediately? Unless you know who you are, then you can do that. But no, if you don't know who you are and you still have, you know, some healing to do, I'm not telling you to rush into relationships. I would never tell you to, call that person your friend. Like, no, it's nothing wrong with supporting people and being there for people and being happy for people. But it's just like, peep the scenery, scope the scenery in my meatball voice, excuse me. Feel the vibes out before you call that girl your friend, before you call that man your husband, or before you call that girl your wife, or whatever it is. Get to know people. You're not always going to agree with everything and everybody, but you have to realize if you want to be in a relationship, if you want to be in a certain type of relationship, you have to be able to have certain boundaries and you have to be able to negotiate. Even when it comes to business, for all my entrepreneurs. If you have a business and you want clientele, you have to learn how to accommodate to your customers. Now, I'm not saying that they're always right. I'm not saying, like I said, that when you're being a bigger person, when you stop sabotaging, that you allow disrespect, you allow people to take advantage of you, you just allow negativity. But it's like, if you're stern, you're stern. If you're solid, you're solid. Don't block people who did nothing, because I'm telling you from experience, you will block opportunities from people, places, and things who are meant to bless you. There are people in this world who are meant to bless you, but you won't even be able to understand it if you continue to hold on to certain people, places, and things. So it's just like, in order for you to stop sabotaging yourself, number one, you have to acknowledge that you've experienced betrayal. Number two, you have to be able to self-reflect and realize where you went wrong and where other people went wrong, and realize what you want to do moving forward and things that you don't want to do. Number three, you have to be able to be patient. You have to realize that when we're healing ourselves, like I said, naturally, and we go to the source, it's a lot of suppressed feelings. It's a lot of emotions. A lot of times people do not communicate. A lot of times people aren't vulnerable. A lot of times people grow up in toxic and dysfunctional houses that a lot of times people are just so naturally anxious. A lot of times people are naturally paranoid. A lot of times people have PTSD and OCD and anxiety and are depressed and autistic and neurodivergent and all these labels and attachments. That's not permanent. That's not permanent. Like I said, unless it's physical. And I know, because I'm an naturopathic physician, like, a lot of people do not want to have this conversation, but I'm going to keep it cute. Unless it's physical. And even when it comes to physical sicknesses and diseases, 99% of the time there's a cure. Now, does everybody know that? No. But like I said, I'm not going to go too far into the rabbit hole until it's time. But as of right now, you don't need to continue to self-sabotage. But in order for you to stop self-sabotaging, you need to make a decision. Are you tired of your past? Are you tired of thinking a certain type of way? Are you tired? You have to be tired. Either you have to be tired or you have to want it. So your homework assignment is to pick a side. When you watch these videos, be very intentional. You watch everything else on YouTube. You watch people do hair. You watch people go scuba diving. You watch people stream. You watch people build houses. You watch people cook pancakes. You watch politics. You watch E-News. You watch the BT. You watch CMT. You watch ABCs. So it's like, make time. You make time for everything else. Make time. This is a very much so educational, motivational, serious account. Like I said, if you see me anywhere else on this YouTube street, mind your business. No, I'm just kidding. If you see me on these YouTube streets, I'm a person. balance, duality. But over here, specifically, strategically, and intentionally, we're here to heal ourselves. We're here to motivate and live our best lives because it's possible. And if you see me anywhere else, you know that it's possible. You see me living my best life. This doesn't mean that I haven't gone through anything, but like I said, I'd be danged. I wish a red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish, in the words of Dr. Seuss. Allow a people, place, or thing, like I said, who's not meant to be a part of the picture, think they're bigger than the plot. Anybody has a problem with that? Let them go. But don't sit here and limit yourself. Because I'm telling you, especially like I said, for those of you who experienced betrayal, whether it was from your mom, your dad, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your teacher, your dog. I mean, hopefully your parents, not your parents, your pets aren't, sabotaging you. But it's just like, that's life. People are going to say things and do things that you don't like. The best thing that you could do is just not surround yourself with them. Because once again, if people are constantly betraying you, I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look at you because that's the thing. I'm not y'all friend. Okay? And if I was your friend, real friends hold friends accountable. I would want you all to hold me accountable. That's why the standards are very much so high. Like, if people are constantly betraying you, I'm going to look at you like, well, why are you tolerating this? Why are you accepting this? But you see, when y'all around fake people, fake friends, and people who don't really respect themselves, oh, girl, no, I'm not. Absolutely not. I've never been like that. Never will and never have. And if that's who you are, that's your business. But it's just like, no, I'm an auntie. I'm your favorite rich auntie who happens to be a naturopathic physician, who happens to be a businesswoman. On this account, we mean business. Okay? So pick a side. Once we reach 500 subscribers, we're going to go ahead and work on our healing playlist. We have a 30-day consistency challenge playlist where we break down, like I said, videos step by step, when, what, where, and how to do certain things. And once we reach 500 subscribers, in that playlist, all the information that I offer on my website, that's what we're going to be talking about during this summer. So as soon as we reach 500 subscribers, or if you guys are ready today, let me know in the comment section. Thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. Thank you for following me on all social media platforms. All the information will be down in the description box below. Once again, if you're interested in a service in a session where the energy is more relaxed, more confidential, more intimate, head to my website at ThaiGuidanceForSummer.com. Get that opportunity now, you guys, because once we reach 500 subscribers, things are going to be shifting. But it's like, enough is enough. And I'm telling you from experience, time is only going to go by. You are only going to get older in life. So if you weren't happy then, you're not going to be happy when you get older. And that's what we don't want. Happiness is a choice. You don't have to be born into happiness. You don't have to be born into positivity. But you can leave this earth that way. It doesn't make sense. Do not give up your life or on yourself just because people, places, and things. And watch these videos. Like I said, watch these videos with intention. Make sure you have your pen and your paper. Remember, I'm your favorite rich auntie. You see, who I really am is starting to show, and who you really are starting to show. I'm a real rich auntie in real life. And rich, like I said, has nothing to do with materials and monetary wealth. It's the spirit. It's the energy. Let me know what you guys learned in this video. Let me know what you guys need to focus on. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable. This is a judge-free channel and platform. Once again, DM me on Instagram if you guys are not able to afford a session in the service about what you guys want to talk about, as well as the community section. But I'm going to be making sure, I'm going to be reading the comments and making sure that you guys are engaging. And let me know, like I said, once we reach 500 subscribers, it's showtime. So if you thought the videos were before you were feeling challenged and triggered, oh, we're going to face our fears. That's what we do over here. We face our fears. We uplift ourselves. We have genuine connections. We build, like I said, because it's a lot of abundance. And that's what this channel is about, is abundance. And there's no limitation to abundance, okay? Peace. Thanks for watching.